Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to be doing another collective and timeless reading to see what messages our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels would like to deliver to us today. Yeah, and we're just going to see what they want to tell us. Ceremony, okay. Ceremony number 4. I call upon those heralds of winter, dimming light for better sight. Hear thy praise spilling from my lips. A spell I'll cast for thy spirits in me. Yeah, ceremony. Ceremony calls us to celebrate ourselves. To, mark something, to celebrate something, to create a ceremony. So maybe there's something going on that you need to congratulate yourself on, or just, mark it with, something to acknowledge it. Maybe you've gone through a tough time, or there's something that you've been working on for a long time that's really coming to fruition now. Yeah, something like that. Okay. See here, what should we do for cards? Okay, I'm gonna take some woodland wardens. Let's take some animals to guide us. And today for crystals, we've got our amethyst cluster, very beautiful. And with it we have our wolf totem. And we also have our bear totem. So we got 2 little guardians with us today to assist this reading. Just gonna see. I like this deck quite a lot. Very beautiful and unique with the plant and animal combinations. It's got that new deck smell. I don't know. I love the smell of a new book or a new deck, or, stuff like that. I guess I'm just a little weird like that. Oh, is it that? Okay. Turtle. The turtle and coriander. Satisfaction, yeah. So there's definitely something being accomplished here. Maybe it's like a long-standing project or something like that that's coming through for you. That's coming down to the wire. And it might be a thing where you worked so long at it that it's been such a long run that you're going to forget to celebrate it, but you really, really should. The mouse and Buttercup, innocence. Okay. So I get the sense that with this being completed, actually I'm going to switch these around. With these being completed, you're coming to a point where it's almost like you're being rebirthed. You're being born into a new phase of life. A new chapter is starting for you because you've completed this other cycle. You've completed a chapter. An old cycle is what I'm hearing is being completed now. Or it's hitting a turning point where that part is over. And now you get to enter into something new. And it's exciting. And you're like this innocent mouse. You've got that energy of innocence, of curiosity, of being a beginner almost. Maybe you're starting a new enterprise, or like a new creative journey, learning something new. Maybe you've just decided to do something that you've been humming and hawing over for a long time, and you're deciding to go for it. Or maybe you've just decided that you're not going to wait on your dreams anymore. You're going to go for it. And now is the time where that project can get going. Yeah, something like that. This is very exciting energy. Because it's hard when we're in that phase of we want to start something, but we don't know where to start. Or we're hesitant to start. Like we hold ourselves back. We don't feel ready. But we are ready. We just don't feel like we can do it yet. Yeah, and turtle though, it you know, it's a slow creature, right? It's all about taking your time. So I feel like with turtle, it's kind of saying like slow down and enjoy this process because maybe you're in a rush to get to the next phase, but actually you need to enjoy the ending of this one. Yeah. You need to actually just take it all in and not try to skip over this. That's what ceremony is about. Ceremony is all about, it's like when we do these end of year celebrations, like with Yule, or we don't just jump to the next year. We make sure we give the last year that happened a send off with our celebrations, our holidays. And you need to do that too with this phase of your life that you're ending. Slow down and take it all in because you don't need to rush it. Yeah, and coriander can be about hidden worth, right? And sort of together their combination makes us think about, the value of slow work, of taking your time, of working through things in your own pace. And working through things in our own pace can really be valuable because we get to sort out if things aren't working for us before we get too far ahead with them. And we also, we enjoy it. We don't so many people, they'll go through a big accomplishment, but they'll end up wishing that they had enjoyed it more or taken more time with it, or just just taking it all in. I think you need to do that more. Or maybe you are and you're learning to, and that's something that's new for you that you weren't able to do before, but now you're learning that. You're learning how to take it in. And with mouse here, don't think of starting from scratch or starting from the beginning as a bad thing, because this is the first card in the whole deck. It's number 0. It's like the Fool, right? But that is a great quality. It's great to have the qualities of a beginner. I've actually been getting a lot of messages about this, just in random places, talking about how when we become skilled at something, oftentimes we learn that we leave. Excuse me, we lose that sense of curiosity. We get less and less spontaneous. We get less fluid with our actions and choices because we become more ingrained into a method and a skill. As good as it is to enhance a skill, sometimes we lose that beginner mindset with it. It's so funny, I was reading in a book about this, and I saw an Instagram reel or something like that was talking about this very same notion, but they're two very different subjects. It's interesting how this has come up today. Let me take my sip of my tea. There we go. Talk more clearly. Yeah, like Mouse and Buttercup. It's the innocence of being a beginner is such a valuable thing. We're almost more creative in that state. So if you're beginning something new, starting out on a new journey, don't try to rush to become an expert. Actually take in the experience of being a beginner, being new to something, because you might actually find that you are able to discover more than you would if you had rushed into it. And discovering what's going to be foundational in this new chapter is going to be so important for you. So just make sure that you allow yourself to have that time in that moment. You don't have to rush for anybody, nobody. It's all about you. It's all about going at your own pace that you want to do things at. And also that's just a better way to be, because we enjoy the process more and we're in a better state of mind when we're not pushing ourselves and making ourselves follow a pace that doesn't suit us. Our minds, our spirits will follow the pace that works for us naturally if we allow it. Okay, I think I want some Luna Lapin here. Oh, it's nice when the messages just come through like very clearly like that. Sometimes I have to like navigate a bit, but I think it's just very clear. Okay. Get some cards to talk to us what this journey is going to be, where we're going, where we're headed. Got this. This and this. 2 more. Oh, there's one. 8 of Swords. Got 1 more. No, not that one. Okay. 1 more. Okay, that's the one. Yeah. Page of Cups. I went kind of backwards here, but let's just flip over all the cards here and see what's going on here. Okay. A lot going on. Yeah. Straighten this all out. Yeah, so you're coming from a place of being a tough place for sure. You got that Wounded Warrior card. So you got those high defenses going because you've been through it. You've been through the battle. But you've come out victorious here. You've learned from your experiences. You're learning new skills. And the pages are often students, children, that innocent energy, right? And it's in the Suit of Swords. So new mental clarity, new mental understanding. And with Luna Lapin, I always think of the shadow self. You know, the dark side, right? And not in a bad sense, not in a bad way. Our shadow is very necessary. It helps us understand ourselves. It helps us learn what we're missing, what's hidden from us, right? It's like the dark side of the moon, right? And that's what 8 of Swords is about as well. I think you're becoming more aware of your blockages, the things that you keep from yourself that make it hard for you to move forward. But it's a long process. It's a journey to uncover those things in our lives. It does take a lifetime. We're always learning new things about ourselves, about our shadow especially. So take the time. Yeah, I get the sense that you're going to be unmasked here. Like your sight's going to be unmasked. Because both these cards are very like you're in darkness, right? See that? There's this energy of darkness. But it's not a bad thing. It's like going into the dark is illuminating things for you. I think maybe completing this cycle, which was a bit of a block for you because it took so long, is helping you understand something that's been really deeply hidden within you. Maybe like a very, I'm getting like innocent child, especially with the mouse here. So like an inner child wound, like something like a wound that happened in childhood that you've been a bit afraid to look at. That's what the blindfold's about. You were scared to look at it. You were scared to look at the wound. But now I think you might be ready to face it. You're going in with your sword, ready to go. You're like spiritually armed for it. Yeah. This is like a spiritual graduation, is what I'm feeling here. Getting into that cycle where you can receive some healing. Because with the Page of Cups at the end here, you're going to be learning how to fill your own cup, but also see what's inside your cup, because he's looking in the cup and he's finding a fish. And he's curious, he's discovering himself within the cup, discovering what's hidden. Because before it was, you were bound and blindfolded before to your own wounds, to your own, but also to your own sparks of creativity. Because often when we have a wound like that, it blocks other things from our lives. Like it can lodge itself in our throat chakra or our sacral chakra and block other things from coming through, like our creativity or our voice or our impulses, our sparks of inspiration. But now it's like that can all come back through. Yeah. You're going to be getting more inspiration now. But I think most of all, you're going to feel emotions that you've really suppressed. Things that were pushed down and bottled up are really going to come to the surface, but it's not going to be a bad thing. Yeah, because look, there's a puddle underneath him, right? And the puddle, it's like water is emotions, right? At least in the Pseudo Tarot, it's the cups, the water. It's about the emotional aspect, right? So you were blindfolded and bound, but standing in the water that was underneath you, soaking your feet. So, like, the emotions were just not being processed properly. They were not flowing through you in a way that was healthy. But now, with the Page of Cups here, there's going to be a whole new era for you where you can let those feelings out in a way that is healthy and natural for you. That's going to feel right. That's going to feel safe. Maybe you'll meet people or a counselor that's going to help you. But I think like a lot of it is just your own inner work. Deciding that you're ready. Yeah, with the Page of Swords here, I really get this as like, this is a directed impulse to face your wounds, to face your fears and your suppressed emotions. Yeah. I'm going to take butterflies. Yeah, because maybe there is something that's been kind of haunting you or hidden from you, like by yourself, like by your own volition. But now it's like, I'm going to unlock that door now. Changing your mind. Yeah. Maybe you're going to change your perspective on how you think about dealing with these things. Dealing with, upset, dealing with hurt, dealing with wounds. Yeah. And maybe you're even going to just change your mind on your perspective on those wounds. Because sometimes we can look back at a wound, and part of the reason we don't want to face it is because we have a certain judgment about it. Like we think of a memory it feels embarrassing to us. We think it's shameful. We want to hide from it. But actually, when we really look at it, we look objectively. And we look at it from a new perspective, from a perspective that's moved forward in time, where we're older, we're more mature, we're wiser. We can see it for what it is and say, oh my gosh, I wasn't, necessarily at fault there, or that was a completely reasonable reaction. Maybe I wasn't as bad as I thought, because often we can judge ourselves, we can shame ourselves into thinking, and that's, often the memories we, like when they say screen memory, or like a memory, we want to just yell away the memory. When we think about it, we're just like, ah. I've had phases where I've had those memories and it was just awful. It's an awful feeling. But actually, when we look at it without judgment, when we face it, And we, we look at ourselves tenderly, like like an innocent child, because we are. Our past selves are always an innocent person because we always know better in the future, right? We can't judge ourselves for not knowing what we didn't know. It seems simple, but it's true. Don't judge yourself for not knowing what you didn't know. Right? Like, and we're all without grace at times, right? We don't have to always be perfect. And it's human to be flawed. It's human to make mistakes. It's human to be embarrassed, Like, it's okay. What's the worst possible outcome is to, shame ourselves and hate ourselves for those memories. When we look at them and we don't judge and we just see, things plainly, often the memory changes and we realize, actually, that was really hard to go through. And I'm proud of myself for getting through that, even though it was rough. Or, we can think, I was just a child. I was just a kid. I didn't know any better. It's a lot easier when we get older in some ways to realize that. But it's so hard when we're young to understand that it's not our fault, right? Often our lessons are our lessons, and it's okay to go through them. Yeah. Don't judge yourself so harshly. It's unnecessary stress. So we're all gonna do things that are flawed, right? Like, it's not gonna be, there's no perfect story, come on. And we all have like cringy memories or embarrassing memories. Everyone's got one of those, and it's so much better when we can laugh at them. I know sometimes it's really, really hard to do that, and it takes a lot of work to get to a place where we can laugh at some memories that used to make us yell and scream, but we can do it. But it often involves us looking at ourselves with, care and understanding, and not judging ourselves. Looking at ourselves as though we were a different person, like another person. Would we judge them as harshly? And if we would we be a good person for doing that? Yeah, take the next step now. Yeah, so call to action to do this. Because maybe these memories are also what's holding you back. Right? Like, maybe you have a bad memory of trying something new or trying to do something. Like, take a chance on something and it didn't work out. And that's the memory that's holding you back from trying something new again. Trying to go for something new again. Because you feel like it's going to turn out the same way. But, your guides are saying no. I think they have your back on this. Like, this, you're much wiser now. And you went through those lessons for a reason. I don't think you have to always be afraid that it's not going to work out. And often, that's kind of how manifestation is. If we believe it won't work, right? But if we believe it will work, we have much better chances. Now let's get Moonology. Since we got the moon here, let's see what the moon has to say. Let's take it. A fiery climax approaches. This doesn't have to be it's a full moon in Aries. It doesn't have to be something that's, bad, like a fight or something. It could just be like, something's reaching its peak. Something is reaching a turning point. So perhaps that's why you're being asked to gather this energy to face your wounds, face your your cringy memories, because you're being asked to take a new step now. And these kinds of thoughts and ideas are only going to hold you back. the ones that are fearful for you. So honestly, with Page of Cups here, I don't think it's going to be bad. I think there's more for you to discover. There's going to be a great new journey for you here. So don't feel... Yeah. On the bottom, we've got have faith in your dreams. So I think maybe an old memory is holding you back. Like it's making you fearful and making your steps hesitant. But you're not going to have a bad outcome necessarily. There might be challenges along the way, but I don't think it's going to be the wrong direction. And I think that's why you're being asked to have that beginner mindset, like with innocence here. I think you have to go at it, you know, like how beginners make mistakes all the time, but it's okay because they're a beginner, right? Like, and we just kind of give ourselves a pass because it's like, well, you know, I'm learning, right? I think you got to give that to yourself with life in general. Like, give yourself a pass to be learning. And just, and when we are a beginner, we also have more fun because we're not setting expectations for how good we should be. We just find out how good we are from the start and just go from there. So maybe that's what you got to do here in this situation. Is adopt that mentality for your, you know, your life in general. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect, because it's not doing you any favors. It's just stressing you out and taking away from, you know, your experiences. I think that's just what you got to do. You got to change your mindset. Change how you want to be in this world by being more relaxed with yourself. And celebrate that you've discovered this about yourself. Discovered that you need that. That you can be that. Mushroom, 31. 31 becomes a 4. Is a very protective, stabilizing number. Yeah, let's just see here. I forget what mushroom means, so I'm definitely going to have to look it up. Yeah. Mushroom spreads underground. That's what fungus does, right? It hides. It's ready to flourish upwards. So that's like you. You've been doing this work underground, which is to say, under the surface, within yourself. And you're ready to flourish now with that work that you've been doing. And it does warn against working yourself to death, working too hard, wearing yourself thin, and burning the candles at both ends. And you don't want to burn yourself out. It's not worth it. So you got to catch the behavior before it gets out of control. You know, you can delegate, you can compromise, you can ask others for help. Put your attention to areas that are more important and away from areas that don't need as much of your attention. Give yourself a helping hand by making your workload easier, which is to say, take off some of the pressure and go slower. Take your time, set your own pace, because you don't have to follow a pace that other people set for you or whatever you think you got to do. Just do what's natural to you. Yeah. Change how your mind works with this. Change your mindset on this, because you really need to give yourself a break. Give yourself the grace to do things as they come, as they flow for you. Find your flow that way. And celebrate yourself. Celebrate your accomplishments, for God's sake. I'm not sure why I'm saying that, but like, I think you're just kind of skipping past one accomplishment and getting right on, okay, what do I got to do next? What do I got to finish next? And that is going to burn you out so fast. You gotta take a breath. Give yourself some joy and fun too. Like, oh, yeah, because you're gonna just push yourself too far, too hard if you do that too much. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. It's funny, we got the moon phases there too, eh? I didn't notice that till now. Yeah, it's the cycles, right? The moon, even the moon takes a break, you know? It can't shine all the time. It only has like a few days where it's at its fullest, brightest in the month, and then it takes the other days and it slowly wanes its energy out and takes a break finally with the new moon. I think you've got to find that pace for yourself. Establish a pace that works for you. And do not forget to rest and take care of yourself and celebrate your accomplishments, because you'll burn out but also lose motivation because there's no reward to work for. Your body wants that. Your body wants a break. It wants to be able to relax and feel accomplished. So make sure you give yourself that time. And fiery climax approaching could be about, you know, a warning against that burnout, right? Like something's got to give, right? So make sure you're taking your steps towards a more balanced life that doesn't involve you wearing yourself thin. Yeah. All right, I think that's the end of the reading. I hope this was very helpful for you, and thank you for staying to the end. If you like my videos, you can like and subscribe and leave a comment if you want to share your story and how it resonated with you. And other than that, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. All right, take care.